Guys, this may be the first James Bond movie with tentacle porn. So if you like that idea, you're in for a real treat. Yeah.
Hi guys, this is Second Perspective. We're doing another QQ for you on Spectre. My name is Paul Weston. Over there is Mitchell Allen. And I'm just going to let Mitch get right to it because there's a lot that we want to talk about for this film. So let's just get right to it.
Sure. Guys, it's James Bond. You know the characters at this point. He's played again by Daniel Craig in this version. And again, he goes rogue. So this time he's trying to bring down an international organization named Spectre. And Spectre is led by Christoph Waltz's character. I won't say too much more about that, but he's in this movie. And essentially, he also deals with a new regime change in MI6 and maybe a new love interest. And I'm pretty sure that's about all we need to say to sell it or not.
Yeah, I don't think we need to sell it. I'm just gonna go right to it. Mitch and I have different opinions. At least my experience was I didn't particularly care for it. It was much closer to Quantum of Solace for me than it was a Skyfall. I don't know if it was as bad as Quantum of Solace, but that was my sort of thing.
Well, for me, it was more uneven. I didn't walk out of this and hate it. It's just that there were parts of this that I actually think I found interesting and compelling and fun, which is, I think, more than some of the other James Bond movies except for Casino Royale. But then some of it's too long and it's too boring. But I don't know. There was something about it where the parts that really hit well for me, and the parts that didn't, for sure didn't. But I came out of it and I was fine. I was okay.
And what parts hit you well, my friend?
Well, I mean, for the first, just from the opening 10 minutes, I was hooked. I liked the fact that we had sort of slipped back into the old Bond caricature, but it was doing this interesting trick with the tracking shot where you're sort of figuring out who the other character he's following is. And I don't know, I felt like I was getting into the rhythm of the Bonds that I like, and it was a little more clever, a little funnier. There was something about that hooked me right off the bat. And then it dips on and off a little bit, but I thought when it was funny, it worked. And when it's sort of referencing old Bond movies, some people had an issue with that, but I sort of like that the sort of ghosts of the past were coming back to haunt Bond in a way. And there was stuff that I felt, compelled and attached to. And I can see that you're not on board.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Some of the humor seemed sort of oddly misplaced. Especially with sort of the three Bonds that were a lot more serious. The story clarity for me just was kind of all over the place. And there would be times when I'd be like, oh, okay, we have to go to, X. But I'm like, I don't remember why or why it's emotionally important to go to X. It's just and I was like, okay, I guess we're going to go. And I thought at first it was just me, but after it happens 3 or 4 times, there's something clearly wrong. I'm paying attention. I write notes in a theater. I'm not being an idiot. So that's one issue. Some of the plot points are super campy to me. I won't ruin too much, but there's some things that were just that happened. I'm like, holy crap, really? I actually said really kind of out loud when I watched it.
Yeah.
Which Mitch and I had. We don't want to say anything because it is part of the story. If you like that, we don't want to ruin it for you. But Mitch had a semi-similar feeling. I mean, he did see some of that stuff. And another thing too is with the love story. It just didn't. I think
it gets closer though. I wasn't put off by it in terms of its bare bones. I think the problem is that Mendes seems to treat it as if it's a stunning romantic epic plot line, whereas really it's I think an okay sort of love story for Bond, and it if treated in a more economical and quick manner could have worked out fine. But the scenes that I think you're referring to are in the middle, and it's right when we're starting to boil with this whole Spectre thing, and it really the meat of it is just dragged out too far.
I just none of that, but I don't really think they have a whole lot of screen chemistry, and I know that both are very good actors. The female lead for this film, she's the actor that played Blue in Blue Is the Warmest Color, and that was acclaimed for nothing.
I still haven't seen that, but I've heard it's great.
Yeah, if it was for nothing else, it was great acting, and then she was Blue, right? So I know that they're both very good actors. but there's no chemistry and everything. And there's also
I don't know. If there's I don't. Yeah.
okay.
I
There's
disagree if
not
no
a
chemistry.
whole lot. I didn't feel a whole lot. Not only that, but like when there's the story with Eva Green, and it's just that was so powerful. Like you
Right.
really have to nail it out of the park, or everything else is going to really not stand up to par. And like that means something. Like people are gonna be like,
Right.
well, why would James Bond go with this person or that person when there is someone that was so much quote unquote better, right? So like I think that's you have to really consider that when you do these sort of things. Briefly as well, another kind of issue with the film is just like the villain is just not really well utilized. Very similar to like Conan Solis, but like
I actually liked Christoph Waltz in this film. I just
Yeah.
think that there's at least an hour or so where he's not anywhere to be found,
hmm
and you're like, when's he gonna? And then he does. I won't say how and why, but I feel like when he comes back, he starts to make it worth it, but it's not enough. And Javier Bardem has a real presence. Lashif has a real presence. Mads Mikkelsen in that movie, but he needed more of a presence because I think he is sort of born to play a Bond villain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like let's just get right to it.
Demeanor. Yeah.
Let's just get to it. Would you recommend? You know my answer. Would you recommend?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think people are going to know if they were going to see this or not. Like it's not like it's a little indie movie they have to search out for and decide. For me, I didn't burst into flames when I saw this. Like I was fine, and I enjoyed myself in some respects, and in other respects, I wish I could have fast forwarded. Look, if you like James Bond, it's not the worst one, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mitch is wrong. It might not be the worst one, but don't go see it. Go see something else. I go see something else. There's something. This doesn't bring anything more interesting, and I think you're gonna be more disappointed by the fact that this could have been great and it's not. So, you'll be a lot better off if you just go do something else.
Okay.
That said, if you have already seen it, I do think there's a lot to discuss. We're going to be talking sort of about like how a film fits within sort of a series and whether like how expectations work into that. So please do join us in the discussion. But otherwise, this is Second Perspective. My name is Paul Weston. Over there is Mitchell Allen, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye,
Peace.
guys.